MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com, RockAuto.com, State Farm, and WeatherTech.
My thanks to Pat for allowing us the time to magically zip out to the Michigan countryside for a visit with the 83 models of another mark. We're just south of Chelsea, about 35 miles west of Detroit, and at the doorstep of the impressive Chrysler Corporation Proving Grounds, ready to take a gander at what's coming around this year from Dodge and Chrysler Plymouth.
It's no secret that the Chrysler Corporation has had some big financial problems over the last few years. Without those government-guaranteed loans, they would have been out of business long ago. It's also no secret that this beleaguered company has more front-wheel drive vehicles than any other domestic car maker. And for 1983, they're making some notable additions. Your first impression? This has got to be a K car. Well, you're only half wrong. This is the new four-door Chrysler E-class, a mid-size offering that means Chrysler has front-drive sedans for families of all sizes. The half-right part is that the E-Class is built on a stretched K-car platform and retains much of the K-car's boxy styling. The extra 3 inches in the wheelbase has gone into rear seat legroom and trunk space. That makes the new E-Class extremely roomy. A more formal version, now called the Chrysler New Yorker, will debut in January. Over at Dodge, they too have a version of the new E-car, and it's called the 600. The car that makes Chrysler's so-called performance division really stand out, though, is this special version, the 600 ES, an American sedan built in the style of the best handlers from Europe. Blacked-out trim, stiffer suspensions, stickier tires, aluminum wheels, and a new cable-controlled shifter make the 600 ES pretty unique among Chrysler products. All E-Class cars can be ordered with an advanced electronic voice alert system that first nags you about 11 different everyday indiscretions.
Your headlights are on. Your headlights are on. Don't forget your keys.
And then politely forgives and forgets.
Thank you.
Power comes from either a vastly improved Chrysler-built 2.2-liter 4, generating 94 horses, or the optional 2.6-liter from Mitsubishi. Transmissions include the only domestically built 5-speed front-drive manual, and I'm glad to say it works like a hot knife through soft cheese. So, our first impressions of the E-cars were good. Now, if the public can distinguish them from the similar-looking K-cars, Chrysler will once again have pulled a rare rabbit out of an almost empty hat.
While Chrysler has spent a lot of scarce cash on the new E-Class, they haven't forsaken the rest of their lengthy lineup. Once known as the Engineers Company, Chrysler seems to be working hard to regain that public connection. Witness an upgrading in engines, better shift linkage, extensively refined brakes. It's all part of a general sprucing up of their carryover models, and some of those are among the most modern designs anywhere.
Let's begin with the original small American front-wheel drive car, the Plymouth Horizon Dodge Omni. For 83, the stripped miser models have been dropped, but even with the addition of a lot more standard equipment this year, prices will not rise drastically. Also eventually dropped will be the baseline 1.7-liter engine bought from Volkswagen, and instead this compact 1.6-liter 4 from Peugeot. Actually, Chrysler designed this engine itself before it sold Chrysler Europe to the French. So even though it may be new to America, the Nouveau engine is no stranger to Pentastar engineering. Dressed in far more sporting clothes, the Omni Horizons are transformed into the Dodge Charger and this Plymouth Turismo. The 024 and TC3 names never caught on, so they've also been dropped. Both divisions will have a high-performance version, complete with graphics and hood scoop, Chrysler's own 2.2-liter engine, the homemade 5-speed manual, and quicker gearing. Sports suspension pieces have also improved the Turismo Charger 2.2s to the level that they now handle as well as they move. But that's not all Chrysler got out of the original Omni Horizon design. Last spring, we found this front-drive car truck in our driveway, and it was called the Dodge Rampage. It was quick and cute then, and for 83, it's enhanced by this dealer-installed fiberglass cargo cover. In fact, the Dodge boys are doing so well with the Rampage that the Plymouth folks wanted a copy too. So, voila! Enter another pointy face with an open space, now called the Plymouth Scamp, and it does. One notch further up the Chrysler scale, at roughly what we now call compact size, is the basic K-car, the Plymouth Reliant and Dodge Aries. K-cars are available in 3 body styles. That includes a 2-door sedan, like this Aries, a more traditional family 4-door sedan, like this Reliant Special Edition, and in what MotorWeek found to be one of the most utilitarian cars anywhere, a 4-door wagon. All K-cars include additional standard equipment for 83, power front disc brakes, improved shift linkage, more noise insulation, and increased horsepower without additional fuel penalties. But in order to get the best return out of their investment, Chrysler also wanted higher-priced editions of the K-car. So it started the latest Detroit trend, convertibles, with the Chrysler LeBaron and Dodge 400 ragtops leading the pack. Both this LeBaron and the 400 have been selling so well that Chrysler plans to stop using its outside supplier and start making them in its own factories. Only a few months ago, that was thought to be unprofitable. The LeBaron 400 series is also available in the more stable 2- and 4-door sedans and 4-door wagon. But it seems to me that if you're going first class, you might as well go all the way. And while you're at it, you might as well stretch the point and climb aboard this elongated LeBaron, soon to be known as the Chrysler Executive Car. This mini limo, complete with wet bar and a TV, should bring front drive to the energy-conscious corporate set for sure.
If I stopped here and told you that that was the end of Chrysler's domestic car story, you'd probably rise out of your chair and say, but what about? Well, the fact is that all the remaining Chrysler products are actually made outside of the United States. Chrysler's extensive line of bigger rear-drive models are all assembled in Canada, and its Mitsubishi-supplied subcompacts and sports coupes are naturally made in Japan.
The rear-drive Chrysler line, including this top-of-the-line Chrysler New Yorker 5th Avenue, all began life as the quickly forgotten Aspen Volare range. All that remains of those forebearers are the basic dimensions. Close cousins to the 5th Avenue include the Dodge Diplomat and Plymouth Grand Fury, all available only as 4-door sedans. Power comes from the venerable 3.7-liter Slant 6, one of the most durable engines anywhere. But there is one optional contender, a 5.7-liter V8. All 3 cars come with power steering and brake standard and represent the last true 6-passenger models in the Chrysler lineup. By the way, except for the overall styling, the New Yorker 5th Avenue bears no relation to the forthcoming E-class New Yorker. The potential for name confusion may cause Chrysler to rethink pinning the Big Apple's call sign on such a radically different front-wheel drive car. There are 2-door models available, but they go by different names. Dodge calls its version the Murata, and over at Chrysler, it's Ricardo Montalban's favorite car, the Cordoba. But the real treat is at the tippy top of the list, a revival of the Imperial name. Chrysler grandly calls the Imperial a special car for a special owner. Only about 10,000 are made each year, and they're sold only through selected dealers. What that special owner gets is a super plush ride, more leather than you can saddle soap in a day, and a sound system you might want to pull out and install in your living room. Even on this high-bank test track, the ride is so quiet and dreamlike that our drivers had to tape their eyelids open to keep from dozing off. On the other hand, another Chrysler car that demands and gets all the driver attention it can muster also happens to be about as far away from an Imperial as you can get. The front-drive, Mitsubishi-made Colt. Once known as the Plymouth Champ and Dodge Colt, it will now carry only the Colt insignia at all Chrysler dealers. The most significant alteration for 1983, and one we don't care for, is the new dash design that includes Subaru-like control knobs that stick out from the dash. Chrysler's other Japanese-supplied model will still be separately called the Plymouth Sapporo and Dodge Challenger. These rear-driven sports coupes use the 2.6-liter silent shaft 4-banger and provide a good level of performance in a moderately priced car. For 83, both divisions sport a Technica model, with two-tone paint, luxuriously appointed interior, and lots of electronics. And that includes a 6-message audible alert center. But unlike Chrysler's homemade talking dashboard, this one fails to say thanks. I guess we can score 1 for the home team.
Next week, we'll be moving northeast of Chelsea to the village of Milford and the giant test track of the industry giant General Motors. We'll also be going by the Southfield headquarters of the American Motors Corporation for a long look at their 83 offerings, including the French-designed, American-built AMC Renault Alliance. I don't think you want to miss it. We'll see you next week on MotorWeek.